Welcome to HOWCEE Production Gospel Blog Talk Radio. Ken and Jean Grady television show from November the 14th, 2020 and November the 21st. Enjoy the broadcast. You're listening to HOWCEE Production Gospel Blog Talk Radio, coming to you from 231 6th Avenue down south in Beatrice, Alabama. Enjoy.
This is Gospel Music Today. Now, here are the hosts of Gospel Music Today, Ken and Jean Grady.
We are very glad you could spend some time with us on Gospel Music Today. We have Southern Gospel news coming up, some concert updates, and Jean has a feature group.
All the way from North Carolina, it's the Journeys.
From a few years ago at the National Quartet Convention, I will be speaking to an old friend, Bill Shivers, on today's program, and you've been listening to some new music.
A couple of new CDs, one by the Barber Family and one by Don Stiles.
And you've been reading?
I've been out on the internet reading the Christian Voice magazine.
We were at the North Alabama Quartet Convention with our cameras. Clear Vision Quartet was there. We have exclusive concert video on today's program.
We don't go to Missouri often, but I think that's where we're going for the archives.
From a few years ago, the Mid-America Gospel Music Association hosted the Lesters. We have exclusive video on today's program.
Let's get started.
You are watching Gospel Music Today. The news is next.
The Isaacs have released a new album featuring the hit single The Wilderness and a performance by Lily Isaacs of the Bob Dylan classic The Times They Are A-Changin'. Daywind Music Publishing has re-signed Diane Wilkinson. It's her 15th anniversary with Daywind, and her songs have been recorded by many of the top Southern Gospel artists. Stowtown Records has released a new recording by the Guardians. It's Still Good News is the group's third recording for Stowtown. It was produced by Wayne Hahn and group member John Darren Rousey. 11th Hour has released a new single, I Know It's Mine, following up their 2019 CD release, A Lot with a Little. That's a look at some of the happenings in the world of Southern Gospel. You can keep up with the latest Southern Gospel news by reading SGN Scoops Digital Magazine. Take a look at their website at sgnscoops.com. And you can find more Southern Gospel news at our website, gospelmusictoday.com.
We have been on the road.
Yes, we have. And, you know, we always like the opportunity to see Clear Vision Quartet. They were at the North Alabama Quartet Convention, and I believe we have a clip.
Yes, we do.
High upon the mountain, from where he ascended, the angel of the Lord declared that it would be. He said, don't stand here grieving for the one that you see leaving, in like manners coming back for you and me. And I believe he's coming back like he said. I believe that a trumpet's gonna sound so loud one day to wake the dead. In the twinkling of an eye, he'll split the eastern sky, and I believe he's coming back like he said. Oh, if you believe he's coming back, just wave at me, would you? It could be before tonight's over with. I believe that time is nearing when I'll soon see his appearing. This could be the hour. Oh, now this could be the day when the saints from every nation, they will lose their gravitation in the middle of the air, be called away. And I believe he's coming back like he said. I believe that a trumpet's gonna sound so loud one day it'll wake the dead. In the twinkling listen, in the twinkling of an eye, he'll split the eastern sky, and I believe he's coming back like he said.
We always enjoy hearing Clear Vision Quartet, and we really enjoyed the North Alabama Quartet Convention. That's a good event.
Yes, it is. Who has a birthday this week?
Happy birthday to Libby Perry Stuffle. Libby sings with the Perrys. Her birthday is November 16.
And we wish a happy birthday to all our Southern Gospel friends.
We have more exclusive concert video coming up on Gospel Music Today. But first, Jean has been listening to some new music.
Family and Friends is the new CD by the Barber family, and it was produced by Les Butler. Some of the friends that joined them on the CD are Weston Henson and Jason Davidson. 5 of the songs were written by members of the group, and my favorite is No One's Too Broken for Grace. That's Friends and Family by the Barber family.
This is a concert update from Gospel Music Today. The Pine Ridge Boys will be at Anchor Auctions in Woodruff, South Carolina on December 4. If you're looking for a concert near you, check the search engine at gospelgigs.com. And you can always use the links at our website, gospelmusictoday.com.
The Journeys from Dobson, North Carolina are a gospel singing group who travel and share their testimonies about raising a child with autism. Donna sang with her family and other groups most of her life. She and Greg were married in 1991, and 3 years later, God blessed them with a son, Ben. At the early age of 2.5, Ben was diagnosed with autism. They were devastated by the diagnosis and were told by doctors that Ben would not be able to communicate with them and would have a difficult time socializing and communicating with others. As Ben grew, they both noticed that he was fascinated with music and any type of musical instrument. They fostered that interest by getting Ben instruments to play. Donna plays piano and showed Ben chords on the piano and noticed Ben putting chords together and playing along as she sang with him. The Journeys continue to pray and seek God's will for Ben's life. Their journey has been a long and challenging one, but God has blessed them and blessed Ben with amazing skills to not only play piano and keyboard for the group, but also guitar, electric guitar, and banjo. You can find out more about this week's feature group at thejourneysgospel.net. Coming up next on Gospel Music Today, Ken visits with Bill Shivers. Welcome back to Gospel Music Today.
From a few years ago at the National Quartet Convention, we spoke with an old friend, Bill Shivers of Brian Free and Assurance. That's up next on Gospel Music Today. This is Gospel Music Today. We are at the National Quartet Convention, and it's a great thrill to be talking to an old friend, although I don't mean old in that sense. You know what I mean?
I feel older than I am.
This is Bill Shivers. He sings with Brian Free and Assurance. And Bill, it's great to have you on Gospel Music Today.
I'm glad to be back with y'all, Ken. It's been a while since I've been here. What was it? Last time was 2 or 3 years ago?
I guess so. Yeah, it's been a couple of years. I have to tell you before we ask you anything. I'll see if I can, first I'll start off seeing if I can embarrass you.
Uh-oh.
But no, I just want to tell you this. When we see Brian Free and Assurance, and we love the quartet, we love the singing. But I have to tell you, and Gene and I have both talked about this, one of the highlights is watching you every night looking like you were having absolutely the time of your life.
You know, when you sing for the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, I mean, that's something to get excited about. And how these people get up on stage and they look like they've lost their best friend, I don't understand it, because when he saved and touched my life, he gave me the joy that's unspeakable. And I'm glad it shows. I'm glad it shines through. I can't thank him and praise him enough for being able to do what I do night after night, doing something that I've loved for all my life. It's just a thrill to do what I do.
That's great. How did you start singing Southern gospel music?
Honestly, it was really by accident. I was introduced to gospel music at a young age, of course, because we watched the Gospel Singing Jubilee every Sunday morning before church. And that was my introduction to gospel music. And little did I know that all these many years later, after watching that I'd be a part of this great music. And I started when I was like 19 years old, actually playing the drums in a local family group where I was from in South Georgia, and I was singing along during one of our practices that we, local groups, a lot of them, we'll practice because we all had live bands. We didn't know what it was like to have tracks, so I was playing the drums, what little bit I knew how, and I started singing along. And so one of the guys in the group heard me, said, "Wow, put him a mic back there." And that's really how it all began. And I started singing, and I'd sing and play the drums, if that was a sight. But that's really the beginning. I sang with them for, 4 or 5 years, and then another part-time group, and then a group a lot well-known, Heaven Bound. We sang with them one night, and Ken, the piano player, told me if I was ever interested in traveling and singing full-time, to give him a call. And so I guess it was not 6 to 8 months later that I felt like that was something that I would enjoy doing. So I gave him a call and sang with him 3 or 4 years. And then Brian heard us up here, and I heard that he was looking for a lead singer. And so I decided to join up with Brian Free, and it's been a thrill to do what I do with Brian. Brian's like a big brother. He's an awesome guy. He's a little feminine, but high tenor singers are. I'm just joking, Brian.
You've got a new guy in the group recently.
Randy Crawford, which is a new old guy. He traveled with Brian back, 96, 97, 98. And then he was with him when Brian decided, to go solo for a couple of years. That's who was the lead. He was a lead singer at that time. But now he's singing baritone, which he gives me a hard time about that. But he's a great guy. Randy Crawford, he's a name that everybody out here knows. He's been with the Kingsmen. He's been with the Tony Brothers, and he's been around. He's had his own group, so he's a very talented man. Yeah. Very talented.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Yes, he does.
I know you've been recording. What's going on with that?
Our latest single is You Must Have Met Him, and it's a Ronnie Henson song, which we try to do at least a couple of Ronnie Henson songs on every one of our CDs, because no one writes like Ronnie Henson. He's like one of the best ever. And so that's the latest thing we got out now, and our latest CD is called Worth It. It's been out 8 months now, and we're really getting a lot of positive feedback from it. God's really blessing. He blessed us with some wonderful songs, anointed songs, and it's just been a thrill to sing them. Sure has been awesome.
What's the Brian Free and Assurance website?
BrianFreeandAssurance.com. The word and. BrianFreeandAssurance.com.
Well, Bill, we look forward to this every single time, and it's been a great pleasure to have you on Gospel Music Today.
Well, it's always a pleasure to be here with you and Gene. We love you. We thank you for what you do and what you mean to gospel music.
We appreciate that. There's more coming up on Gospel Music Today.
In this month's edition of the Christian Voice magazine, the cover story is about Marvin Harrell, and there are other articles about Roberta Blevins, Lance Driscoll, and our friends from North Carolina, Molded Clay. You can find a link to Christian Voice magazine at our website, gospelmusictoday.com.
This is a concert update from Gospel Music Today. The Wanda Mountain Boys will sing at Mount Zion Christian Church in Hannibal, Missouri on December 6 at 6 p.m. You can find all the details at the Gospel Music Today website.
We have a new music video.
Yes, we do. This is the Jordan Family Band, and when they say family band, they are telling the truth. This is Alex, Hunter, Grant, Randa, and Josh Jordan. From their new CD, Little More Love, the song is Hope for the World. The Jordan Family Band is up next on Gospel Music Today.